Public works is the foundation of civilization. If you don't have them and they're not in good shape, then civilization begins to fall apart. We've seen this repeated throughout history.
In the last 20 or 30 years in particular, we've gone from being responsible for approximately 30% of the infrastructure nationally to about 50%. And at the same time, we've seen our ability to pay for that really shrink.
And a lot of what I'm dealing with now was put in after World War I. The pipes are old, the materials used at the time were the cheapest materials that we could find with a fairly short lifespan.
The American Society of Civil Engineers regularly ranks the infrastructure in the United States. And in 2009, we got a grade of a D.
I think sometimes our opportunities come to us hidden in the form of challenges. So we have the challenge of replacing that infrastructure, but the good news is we've got an opportunity to replace it with infrastructure that's more sensitive to the environment, that is more sustainable.
Sustainability really is putting back into Earth, into our systems, anything that can be reused over and over so we don't diminish all our natural resources.
Every decision that we make today about our infrastructure has an incredible effect on the future health and vitality of our community.
What is sustainability for? It's really for our welfare. It's for the folks that are coming behind us to have something better than what we left. And I think it's simple as that.
Basically, the money that you spend now will save you in the long term.
But all the things that attract people to a city, start with public works.
Everyone can make a difference. And by the city sort of demonstrating how to do it, it leads the way, and it leads by example for the rest of the community how they can also make a difference. And cumulatively, it makes a large difference of a global scale.
A community or ecosystem, in order to thrive, needs to operate on the principles of sustainability. As public works professionals, this means taking on sustainability stewardship, a well-balanced approach to the efficient, well-planned delivery of infrastructure in an environmentally and socially responsible way that ensures the best economic choice for the long term, while building vibrant communities for tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Diane Linderman, and I'm the president of the American Public Works Association. To Public Works, sustainability is a standard that we strive to achieve because it really impacts every facet of life. The APWA exists to develop and support the people, agencies, and organizations that plan, build, maintain, and improve our communities. Working together, APWA and its members contribute to a higher and sustainable quality of life. However, sometimes the term sustainability and how it works within the public works arena gets confusing. That's why, in 2008, the APWA Center for Sustainability was established to help answer questions and address concerns. In reality, we all can make a difference. In this video, we're going to take a look at a number of communities to see what steps they're taking to make their communities more sustainable.
Goffstown, New Hampshire is a quaint, small, historic New England town of approximately 18,000 people located in Hillsborough County. It was established in 1761, and because of its small size and limited resources, public works professionals often get creative. As a result, the Goffstown Yard serves as a model for cities of a smaller size.
We converted to zero waste back in 2005 or 2006. We were the first community in New Hampshire to do it. Overnight, we doubled our recycling rate, which was great, and that was simply providing a larger convenient container to homeowners. We save about $100,000 every year over what it was costing us to do the old curbside collection. So we're picking up twice as much material, and we're saving 10% of the budget.
Goffstown Reclaimed Asphalt Program, which evolved over a number of years, crushes asphalt, hard rubble, even glass, and turns these materials into drainage stone and other gravel products at a much lower cost than buying virgin materials for road construction.
Every time I have to pay for a load of gravel from the pit versus the $2 a ton I'm paying to crush it, I realize how valuable that stuff is. It helps us on the disposal end, and it helps us on the buying virgin material and the out of the pit, which again, diminishing resources. So we'd much rather reuse what we already have. processed glass aggregate. Our pile, we take porcelain, old toilets, sinks, mirrors, pane glass, any glass that's out there, we can handle it.
Located just north of Goffstown is the picturesque town of Laconia, New Hampshire. Laconia has some innovative programs that enhance and preserve the environment, as well as contribute to civic pride.
I think that the WOW Trail does help sustainability within the community by doing a number of different things. An activity of our villages, it's extremely critical for us, for people that want to be able to commute by bicycle or even by foot in a safe manner. This will allow us to do that.
This trailhead and park area that we have, we just recently constructed it this year, and it's just above the grounds of the O-Pee-Chee Spa and Inn. This is a rehab building, so this is part of the urban renewal effort that has been going on in the city. And we're taking what was an incredibly decrepit area, one of the ugliest parts of town, and we've turned it into a real nice showcase. So the park is the new trailhead to show that off.
And what this trail has provided, there are now annual road races that are taking part on this trail as well to help promote that, not just from a health perspective, but also just from social and economic vitality as well for the community. So everyone's come together to help support that.
The Anthony Drive Stormwater Project, located on the western shore of Lake O-Pee-Chee, was the site of a failing and undersized stormwater system that served a 45-home subdivision. The city had to look at different alternatives to alleviate severe flooding situations. The city created a stream channel and abandoned and removed approximately 1,000 feet of stormwater pipe that discharged into the lake.
So we now have a functioning riparian corridor that it can handle up to a 100-year storm event. But looking ahead into the future, we have a system that is going to be much more reasonable to maintain, much less expensive, because we're now working with the environment rather than against it. We're trying to incorporate low-impact development techniques that will enable us to mimic the hydrology of the area that we're working in.
In downtown Laconia, the city had a problem and a very unique way of dealing with it.
We had a fairly significant problem with graffiti here in town along certain areas of our pedestrian ways and buildings. And one way we dealt with it was to reach out to the community and involve them in the process, and actually had areas that were subjected to graffiti become murals or community murals. And we actually tried to involve even some of the perpetrators and the graffiti artists to include them so that they actually had ownership in the murals. I can safely say that the past year we haven't had to even remove any graffiti on the existing murals.
Moving west, in the city of Tempe, Arizona, located near metropolitan Phoenix, recycling practices and consumer education take top priority.
Recycling is good for the community, it creates jobs, and it's good for the environment. It's the triple bottom line.
And the city provides 38,000 residents with curbside recycling, and approximately 328 businesses participate as well.
Recently, the city of Tempe implemented a recycling program in multifamily units, and so the residents in those apartments can go to a central location and drop off their recycling. And every week it is picked up by the city of Tempe free of charge. For the library location, we pick up 6 times a week and average 6 tons per week of recycling materials.
In 2010, the city of Tempe identified a need to recycle green waste. They developed a partnership with Sing Farms, where green waste is delivered and it's recycled into compost. Twice a year, the city gives away this compost to city residents for their own personal use. Ken Singh of Sing Farms is passionate about sustainability, and in addition to working with the city on recycling of green waste, he serves as a local authority on sustainable practices and initiatives.
And in cities and in towns, green waste, that's what's filling up landfills. If you study what goes in a landfill, most is green waste, and it creates methane, which is really ruining our carbon footprint. So I go back to the fact that these natural resources have always been looked at as a problem. In fact, it's the best asset any city or county could have if they would just take the time and redirect it into a processing system. And composting isn't difficult. You must pay attention as you do to anything. You need land, You need water, you need open space, and a little desire. So composting is the easiest way to get back to nature's path, and that's why sustainability should be following nature.
In Thousand Oaks, a city located in southeastern Ventura County, the city incorporates a unique way to deal with waste.
We literally turn this fog, which is fats, oils, and grease, into renewable energy here at the Hill Canyon Wastewater Treatment Plant in Thousand Oaks, California. Well, 6 years ago, we initiated our first cogeneration project here. So that's just simply using the gas from the anaerobic digesters, creating electricity to be used on site. And we started to experiment. We heard about fog from different people taking it, and we started locally with just one local fog hauler, and we said, hey, start bringing your waste in here. We immediately figured out that it was something that enhanced gas production, and we used that gas to create more energy in our engines. And so we did it for a number of years, and then we decided, the City Council made the proclamation that they wanted to see 100% renewable energy from the wastewater treatment plant. And so we built a fog station, upsized some of our digester piping, put a new flare in, and started accepting full-time, fog and a variety of other organic waste from a number of different sources. So when these trucks come in, obviously we have to commit a person to, meeting them, taking the non-hazardous waste manifest, and making sure that the material is processed. And it is automated a fashion as we can possibly do right now. There's just a huge demand for that, and not a lot of places, not a lot of wastewater treatment plants will accept it. So it's been a great revenue source for us. We think our ROI is going to be relatively quick, and I'm very happy about that.
The city of Santa Monica, located in Los Angeles County, California, sits beachfront. With a population of almost 90,000, because of its prime location, it's also known as a resort town and a tourist attraction. In 1966, Santa Monica faced a serious challenge when the Charnock Wells, one of the main water supplies to the city, was shut down due to an MTBE leak.
In 1996, Santa Monica faced a severe challenge in the loss of 50% of the city's groundwater production in 1 month due to MTBE contamination. Eventually, we received a pot of money and were able to design and build a treatment plant which not only addressed the original MTBE, but actually provided treatment and protection above and beyond what we needed just at the well field to remove MTBE.
It speaks not only to the completion of a substantial project, but also towards the sustainability of the city with regard to its water resources, and returning us to more self-sufficiency in the way that we get our water.
The Charnock site is important because that's where majority of the groundwater is. That's where the city has the groundwater rights, and it pulls water out of the ground, treating it and sending it to residents for distribution. It's important to be self-reliant so you can produce your own water and not depend on other people for water. As of today, we're approximately 70% self-reliant. On a rainy day, we're 100% self-reliant. People weren't using their sprinklers. So this plant will put the city one step closer to being self-reliant and producing 100% of the groundwater.
Moving north up California's coastline sits the city of Ventura. Founded in 1782, it's one of California's oldest central coastal cities. Renewable energy has been a major focus in Ventura. Renewable energy grants have been responsible for upgrading many operating systems.
The main project that we did was installing a cogeneration unit at our wastewater plant, and that uses the waste methane gas to generate electricity. And it's still running today and produces about 40% of the electricity needed at our wastewater plant. In 2005, the city installed solar panels at our city maintenance yard, and that system provides about 45% of the electricity needs at our maintenance yard.
We are a naturally lit shop with our solar tubes. We also use retread tires. We recycle our oil, our antifreeze. We use aqueous parts cleaners so that we're not using solvents. We've been eliminating that waste stream. We used re-refined oil. We also have a fuel conservation plan that we've put into place.
We have organized our department and made environmental sustainability its own division. and elevated that to a level that is on par with our engineering and fleet facilities divisions.
Well, we found that most of these programs cost a little bit of money up front, but we have long-term savings. So some of it is we get low-interest loans, and then we pay the initial cost from the savings of energy and fuel costs.
Ventura has 10 electric vehicle charging stations that were recently installed in our downtown community. That electric vehicles are the way of the future. They promote fuel conservation, and the emissions protects our environment.
The district of Saanich, located on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, just north of the provincial capital Victoria, is the largest of the core municipalities making up Greater Victoria. It's home to a variety of rural and urban landscapes and surrounded by miles of beautiful freshwater lakes and marine shoreline. Saanich primarily has kept a focus on sustainability from the climate change perspective, from their dedicated involvement to reducing their carbon footprint and greenhouse gas emissions.
We started up a plan to set aside funds that would offset our emissions, to buy carbon credits to be carbon neutral. We use that money instead to put into a separate reserve fund that we can use for greenhouse gas reduction projects in our operations. And that has proved to be so successful that it's actually something we're going to carry through. The province has accepted it as an alternative to being carbon neutral. So right now the carbon price that we set at is about $25 a ton. So that works out to be about $120,000 that's going into this carbon fund for projects, for example, like solar hot water panels at our rec centers to provide hot water to our showers, electric vehicles in our fleets, and also the general upgrading of our buildings when it comes to heating and electrical lighting systems as well. So we've got a large urban forest. We've got a lot of access to nature, lots of great lakes and streams and natural areas for people. We have over 160 parks, for example, that we operate here in Saanich. So it's always been a priority here in Saanich. It's something that's always a part of the discussion when it comes to any development or any action that we take. So the people here, it's just a natural discussion that residents in Saanich always take pride in the beauty of this area, and Saanich is a beautiful place to live.
As public works professionals, sustainability means responsibility and wise stewardship. These are just a sampling of the valuable, sustainable practices employing the environmental, economic, and social cultural pillars that are being implemented in order to preserve our natural resources and ensure thriving communities.
The APWA's list of guiding principles help public works leaders identify the actions they can take to integrate the concepts of sustainability into their organizational objectives and operations. Recognize the big picture and the interrelationships and interconnectedness of the systems that function together between the environment, economy, and the community. Support revitalization of local communities. Fix, use, and improve existing infrastructure. Support infill and greenfield development that is compact, conserves land, and is integrated with the existing or planned infrastructure in schools. Foster creation of well-designed developments that are walkable, bikeable neighborhoods that offer healthy lifestyle opportunities for residents. Maintain and expand land, air, and water protection and local conservation programs. Maintain and improve recreational and heritage assets and create linkages between neighborhoods and natural, recreational, and heritage resources. Support multi-municipal, county, and local government planning and implementation that has broad public input and support and is consistent with these principles. And support inclusive community planning to ensure social, economic, and environmental goals are met. Work to provide new incentives and put in place management approaches that hasten redevelopment, reinvestment, and rebuilding of communities. Use principles of asset management to ensure the long-term soundness and performance of infrastructure. Work to be transparent and accountable to the community, to build trust and confidence. Lead by example, by supporting conservation strategies, innovative industries, and green building development. Achieving a sustainable, balanced approach with a focus on the triple bottom line: environment, economics, and community. ensures a vibrant community for today and tomorrow.
Please visit apwa.net to find more information and additional resources to help you establish sustainable practices in your community. I encourage you to learn more about the Envision Sustainable Infrastructure Rating System. This has been a key focus of the Center. The rating system is a holistic framework for the evaluation and rating of the sustainability of your projects. It's not just an engineering tool. It can aid in good decision making and allow you to have good discussion with the citizens and the community leaders. So visit sustainableinfrastructure.org. We as public works professionals, along with the members of our community, are all stewards of sustainability. And thank you.
Sitting around, singing my song, and hoping the world just slows down. I lay on the grass and stare at the stars. It seems like the moon is smiling. Sitting